Admiral Maya Rodriguez stood at the command center of the EDS Avalon, Earth's most advanced warship, as holographic displays showed thousands of alien vessels emerging from hyperspace at the edge of the solar system. The massive invasion fleet stretched across space like a swarm of locusts, their biomechanical ships pulsing with an eerie purple glow that seemed to mock the natural order of space itself. Status report. Maya commanded, her neural interface humming as it processed real-time tactical data from the 100 Earth ships hidden throughout the asteroid belt. The Naxos fleet matches our intelligence estimates. Admiral, Lieutenant Commander David Chen reported, his dark eyes reflecting the holographic displays. Over 3,000 vessels, mostly biomechanical constructs. They're deploying in standard conquest formation, just as our deep space probes predicted. Maya allowed herself a small smile. For 15 years, humanity had known this day would come. Since detecting the first traces of the Naxos Empire's expansion through automated probes, Earth had prepared in secret. While the alien empire consumed world after world, humanity had turned their isolation into an advantage, developing technologies and tactics that no spacefaring race had ever conceived. All ships maintain quantum stealth, Maya ordered through the fleet's neural network. Remember your training. We are the descendants of Earth's apex predators. We didn't evolve to be prey. The Naxos fleet moved with the confidence of an undefeated force, their massive ships spreading out to establish a blockade around Earth's orbital paths. Their tactics were textbook for a species that had never faced serious resistance: intimidate with overwhelming numbers, destroy military assets, and demand unconditional surrender. They're broadcasting, Admiral. Communications Officer Sarah Patel announced. Standard Imperial demands. Immediate surrender or face extinction. They're saying their scans show we've barely achieved spaceflight. They think we're defenseless. Laughter rippled through the Avalon's bridge. The Naxos, like every advanced race, looked for traditional signs of technological progress. Antimatter reactors, faster-than-light signatures, tachyon communications. They had no way to detect Earth's quantum technology, developed in isolation and operating on principles their sensors couldn't comprehend. Let them think that, Maya said, her voice carrying the quiet confidence of a predator about to strike. Battle Group Alpha, prepare for Protocol Thunderbolt. Battle Groups Beta and Gamma, maintain position, but be ready to spring the trap. The Naxos fleet's forward elements were now passing through the asteroid belt, their sensors sweeping for any sign of resistance. They found nothing, of course. Earth's ships, wrapped in quantum fields that bent both light and space itself around them, were as invisible as sharks beneath dark water. Admiral, Chen reported, their lead vessels are entering optimal range for the quantum disruptors. Maya took a deep breath. This moment would reshape the galaxy's understanding of warfare forever. All ships, execute Protocol Thunderbolt. Show them why Earth's predators evolved to hunt from the shadows. Across the asteroid belt, 100 Earth ships simultaneously dropped their quantum stealth fields. But they didn't simply appear. They shattered reality itself. The quantum disruptors, weapons that manipulated the fundamental forces of the universe, created zones where the laws of physics broke down. Within these zones, the Naxos biomechanical ships found their carefully engineered systems failing in impossible ways. The alien vessels' organic components aged centuries in seconds. Their mechanical systems tried to operate in spaces where the speed of light itself fluctuated wildly. Energy weapons fired backwards, shields protected against non-existent threats while leaving ships vulnerable to actual attacks, and faster-than-light drives imploded as they tried to calculate paths through space that no longer followed consistent rules. Multiple Naxos ships self-destructing, Chen reported, his voice tight with controlled excitement. Their entire command and control network is collapsing. They have no defense against quantum warfare. Maya opened a channel to all Earth ships. Phase 2. Execute Attack Pattern Delta. Like the pack hunters of old Earth, we strike together. Show them why isolation didn't make us weak. It made us deadly. The Earth fleet moved with devastating precision, their ships coordinating through neural networks that operated faster than conscious thought. Quantum torpedoes phased through enemy shields as if they didn't exist. Temporal lances aged enemy hull plates until they crumbled to dust. Gravity weapons crushed biomechanical vessels like empty soda cans. The Naxos fleet, for the first time in their 1,000-year history of conquest, found themselves facing an enemy that didn't fight according to the established rules of space combat. There was no glorious exchange of broadsides, no predictable patterns of attack and defense. Instead, they faced predators that struck from impossible angles, disappeared before counterattacks could land, and turned the laws of physics themselves into weapons. Enemy fleet is attempting to retreat, Chen announced after 20 minutes of chaos. Their faster-than-light drives are malfunctioning in the quantum disruption fields. They're tearing themselves apart trying to escape. Maya watched the holographic displays as the mighty Naxos fleet dissolved into panic and confusion. Of their 3,000 ships, nearly half were already destroyed or disabled. The rest were caught in a trap of twisted spacetime, unable to fight effectively or escape. "Send the message," Maya ordered. "Let the galaxy know that humanity's isolation wasn't a weakness. It was an incubation period, and the predators have finally emerged from their nest." As Earth's fleet methodically dismantled the invasion force, Maya knew this was just the beginning. The Naxos Empire would soon learn why Earth's creatures had evolved to be the apex predators of their environment. Humanity wasn't just joining the galactic community. They were about to reshape it. The age of unchallenged alien empires was over. The hunters from Earth had arrived. 3 days after humanity's devastating counter to the Naxos invasion, the EDA's Avalon prowled through the debris field that was once the pride of the alien empire. Admiral Maya Rodriguez watched as recovery teams in quantum-shielded suits harvested intact pieces of biomechanical technology from the wreckage. Each piece would reveal more about their enemy's capabilities and weaknesses. Analysis from the Science Division. Admiral, Lieutenant Commander Chen reported, his neural interface pulsing with incoming data. The Naxos ships show signs of genetic manipulation far beyond anything we've seen. Their biomechanical systems are actually grown, not built. Maya studied the holographic reconstruction of a Naxos vessel's internal structure. They evolved their technology along a completely different path than us. While we mastered quantum mechanics and neural interfaces, they perfected biological engineering. No wonder they never saw us coming. The ship's AI, Araya, manifested as a subtle blue hologram. "Admiral, we're detecting unusual energy signatures from the edge of the Kuiper Belt. Pattern matches Naxos faster-than-light technology, but there's something different about these readings." "Show me," Maya commanded, and the tactical display shifted to show a cluster of incoming ships. These vessels were larger than the previous invasion force, their biomechanical hulls bristling with what appeared to be evolved weapon systems. "Second wave?" Chen asked, but Maya shook her head. "No, this is their real fleet. The first wave was just a test, a sacrifice to learn our capabilities." She opened a channel to all Earth ships in the system. "All vessels, battle stations. The enemy has analyzed our tactics. Now we show them we've barely begun to fight." The new Naxos fleet emerged from faster-than-light travel with unexpected precision. Their ships immediately deployed in a complex three-dimensional formation that would have been devastating against conventional forces. Energy tentacles extended between vessels, creating a living network that could adapt and heal in real time. "They've evolved their ships," Chen observed, his voice tight with professional concern. "Those energy tendrils are distributing shield power, weapons control, everything. It's like fighting one massive organism." Maya smiled grimly. "Then we'll teach them why Earth's pack hunters learn to target vital organs. Initiate Protocol Shadow Strike. All ships, prepare for phase-shifted assault." The Earth fleet, still significantly outnumbered, split into smaller hunting groups. Each group activated their advanced quantum drives, not to move through space, but to shift slightly out of phase with normal reality. To the Naxos sensors, the human ships seemed to fade like ghosts, becoming translucent shadows that their weapons passed through harmlessly. Phase shift complete, Araya reported. All ships operating at quantum variance. Enemy targeting systems are unable to establish locks. The Naxos fleet's response was impressive but futile. Their biomechanical ships sprouted new organs, attempting to detect and engage the phase-shifted human vessels. Energy beams swept space in elaborate patterns, shields reconfigured to cover new frequencies, but they were fighting an enemy that simply wasn't fully present in their reality. Execute attack pattern Epsilon, Maya ordered. Target those energy tendrils. Let's see how well their neural network functions when we sever the connections. Earth's ships struck with surgical precision. Quantum torpedoes, launched from multiple phase states simultaneously, passed through the Naxos adaptive shields as if they didn't exist. The energy tendrils connecting the alien ships flickered and died as reality itself was twisted around them. Enemy fleet cohesion is breaking down, Chen reported with satisfaction. Their ships are losing their shared consciousness. They're trying to adapt, but they can't evolve fast enough to counter quantum phase shifting. Maya watched as the mighty Naxos fleet began to splinter. Without their neural network, the individual ships lost the coordinated response that made them so formidable. Now they learn another lesson from Earth's evolution. Adaptation takes time, and sometimes the environment changes too quickly for survival. The battle unfolded like a dance of shadows and light. Earth's ships slipped between different quantum states, appearing just long enough to strike critical systems before fading back into the space between realities. The Naxos biological weapons, impressive as they were, couldn't target what their sensors couldn't properly perceive. Admiral, Araya announced, we're detecting a power surge in the enemy flagship. They appear to be attempting some form of biological quantum jump. They're trying to copy our technology, Maya realized. Their ships are actually attempting to evolve quantum manipulation capabilities in real time. She keyed her neural interface to fleet-wide broadcast. All ships, execute Protocol Omega. Don't let them complete that evolution. The Earth fleet materialized fully into normal space, their quantum drives reconfiguring from phase, shifting to raw power projection. The sudden energy surge created a cascading wave of quantum disruption that swept through the Naxos fleet like a tsunami through tissue paper. Biomechanical systems, in the middle of their desperate evolutionary leap, found their genetic code scrambled by quantum interference. Ships that were trying to adapt to humanity's technology instead experienced catastrophic mutation, their carefully engineered biological components breaking down at the molecular level. Enemy fleet is in full retreat, Chen reported after another hour of methodical destruction. Their surviving ships are showing signs of severe genetic degradation. Whatever they tried to evolve into, it backfired spectacularly. Maya stood at her command station, watching the remnants of the Naxos fleet limp away into faster-than-light travel. Send word to Earth Command. The Naxos aren't just defeated, they're educated. They now understand that humanity's isolation created something they never expected. A species that doesn't play by their rules of warfare. As recovery teams resumed their salvage operations, Maya knew the true war was just beginning. The Naxos would return, with new evolutionary adaptations and desperate strategies. But humanity had shown the galaxy something unprecedented. Sometimes the deadliest predators were those that evolved in isolation, developing weapons and tactics that their enemies couldn't imagine, let alone counter. The hunters from Earth weren't just winning battles. They were rewriting the very nature of warfare itself. The holographic war room deep within Earth's Quantum Command Center was alive with activity as Admiral Maya Rodriguez presented her findings to the United Earth Defense Council. The three-dimensional display showed the captured Naxos biotechnology, now undergoing extensive analysis in secure laboratories across the planet. The Naxos aren't just an empire, Maya explained, manipulating the hologram to reveal the intricate neural pathways within the alien technology. They're a collective consciousness, expanding through biological adaptation. Each defeat makes them stronger. Each encounter teaches them new ways to evolve. General Sarah Chen, the architect of Earth's quantum defense strategy, stepped forward. Her cybernetic eye glowed as it analyzed the data, but their evolution has limits. They can only adapt along paths they understand. Our quantum technology operates on principles their biological systems can't comprehend. The room fell silent as a new alert flashed across the tactical displays. Araya's holographic form materialized, her expression grave. Multiple Naxos fleets detected approaching from different vectors. They're not using conventional faster-than-light travel. Their bioships have evolved some form of quantum tunneling capability. Maya's expression hardened. They're learning faster than we anticipated. Show me. The tactical display expanded to reveal 5 massive Naxos fleets, each larger than the previous invasion forces combined. The biomechanical ships had changed dramatically, their structures now incorporating crystalline growths that pulsed with quantum energy. They moved through space in ways that defied conventional physics. Their new bodies evolved specifically to counter Earth's advantages. They've adapted to quantum warfare, Chen observed, her cybernetic eye scanning the data streams. But they don't understand what they're copying. It's like giving advanced technology to primitive organisms. They can use it, but they don't comprehend the underlying principles. Maya connected to the neural network, feeling the combined consciousness of Earth's defensive grid. That's their weakness. They evolve through imitation, but we evolve through understanding. Araya. Initiate Protocol Prometheus. Throughout the solar system, quantum sensors hidden in asteroids and comets activated. These devices, developed in secret over decades, began measuring and analyzing the Naxos' attempted quantum manipulations. The data flowed through Earth's neural networks, processed by both human and artificial intelligence. Their quantum tunneling is unstable, Maya announced, watching the analysis unfold. They've evolved the ability to manipulate quantum fields, but they're doing it instinctively, like an animal using a tool it doesn't understand. Each jump damages their biomechanical systems. General Chen's cybernetic eye pulsed with tactical calculations. We can use that. Their biological components can't handle prolonged exposure to quantum fluctuations. They're literally tearing themselves apart trying to match our capabilities. The Naxos fleets converged on the solar system, their new quantum-evolved ships moving with predatory grace. But this time, Earth was ready. Hidden quantum amplifiers activated throughout the asteroid belt, creating a complex web of intersecting fields that turned space itself into a weapon. All Earth forces, execute Protocol Prometheus. Maya commanded through the neural network. Show them the difference between copying technology and mastering it. The battle that followed would be studied by military historians for centuries to come. The Naxos ships, impressive in their evolved forms, found themselves trapped in a quantum maze of humanity's creation. Every time they attempted to use their copied quantum abilities, the amplifiers would shift the local laws of physics, turning their own power against them. Biomechanical ships collapsed as their quantum tunneling abilities backfired, creating microscopic black holes within their own structures. Others found their crystalline growths shattering as they tried to navigate through spaces where quantum probability itself had been weaponized by human understanding. Their collective consciousness is breaking down, Araya reported, monitoring the quantum signatures. The neural network linking their ships can't handle the quantum interference. They're losing their ability to adapt as a unified entity. Maya watched as the mighty Naxos fleets began to disintegrate, their desperate attempts to evolve new defenses only accelerating their destruction. They thought copying our technology would give them the advantage. Instead, they're learning why Earth's predators evolved through understanding, not just imitation. The Naxos retreat, when it came, was chaotic and desperate. Ships that still retained faster-than-light capability flowed in different directions, their collective consciousness shattered by quantum warfare they couldn't comprehend. Those that couldn't escape were systematically disabled by Earth's forces, their biomechanical systems preserved for study. In the aftermath, as recovery teams began collecting the scattered remains of the Naxos fleet, Maya stood in the war room, contemplating the broader implications of their victory. "They'll be back," she said to General Chen. "But next time, they'll have to face a hard truth. Humanity didn't just develop better weapons. We developed a better way of thinking." Chen nodded, her cybernetic eye dimming as she processed the tactical data. "They evolved to conquer through adaptation. We evolved to understand through innovation. That's why they'll never truly comprehend our technology. They're trying to copy the tools without grasping the principles behind them." As Earth's defenses reset and repair crews worked to strengthen the quantum grid, Maya knew they had reached a turning point in the war. The Naxos had finally encountered a species that didn't just fight differently. They thought differently. Humanity's isolation hadn't just produced unique technology. It had created a unique way of approaching problems. The predators from Earth weren't just winning battles with superior weapons. They were winning because they understood something the Naxos never would. True evolution wasn't about copying what worked, but about understanding why it worked in the first place. The captured Naxos research facility orbiting Jupiter's moon Europa was a testament to biological engineering gone wrong. Admiral Maya Rodriguez walked through corridors of living tissue, watching as Earth scientists studied the facility's secrets. The walls pulsed with confused life, biomechanical systems struggling to adapt to their new controllers. "We've decoded their biological data storage," Dr. Yuki Tanaka reported, her neural interface processing streams of alien genetic code. "What we found, it changes everything we thought we knew about the Naxos." The central laboratory contained something unprecedented. A Naxos consciousness core, intact and partially functional. The crystalline structure housed the combined memories and experiences of countless conquered species, their neural patterns preserved and integrated into the collective. They're not just conquerors, Maya realized, studying the data streams. They're collectors. Each species they absorb adds to their evolutionary potential. They don't just want to rule the galaxy. They want to become the galaxy. Aria's hologram appeared, her expression troubled. "Admiral, we're detecting unusual quantum signatures from the consciousness core. It's attempting to establish communication through quantum entanglement." Maya's hand moved to her neural pistol, but Dr. Tanaka held up a reassuring hand. "It's not trying to attack or assimilate. It's asking for help. The collective is fracturing. Our quantum warfare didn't just defeat their ships, it's breaking down the very foundation of their shared consciousness." The consciousness core pulsed with soft light, and through their neural interfaces, they heard it speak. Not with one voice, but with millions, the preserved minds of countless species, each struggling to remember its own identity after eons of forced unity. "We were the first." One voice emerged clearer than the others. "Before the Naxos became conquerors, we were the Axiom, peaceful explorers. Our biotechnology was meant to unite species in harmony, but the collective grew too powerful, too hungry. It consumed us, used our understanding to dominate rather than connect." Maya exchanged glances with Dr. Tanaka. "You're saying the Naxos Empire began as a peaceful federation. What changed?" "Evolution without wisdom," the Axiom voice explained. The collective discovered it could grow stronger by absorbing other species, integrating their biological and technological advances. What began as sharing became conquest. Free will became submission. Unity became uniformity. New alarms blared through the facility. Aria's hologram flickered with urgent data. Multiple Naxos fleets detected approaching Earth space. But these energy signatures are different. They're chaotic, uncoordinated. The ships appear to be fighting each other. The tactical display showed hundreds of Naxos vessels engaged in civil war. Some retained their evolved quantum capabilities, while others had reverted to more primitive forms. Their biomechanical bodies showed signs of genetic degradation and confused purpose. "The collective is shattering," the Axiom voice explained. "Your quantum warfare didn't just defeat our ships, it introduced uncertainty into a system built on absolute unity. Individual consciousness is reasserting itself across the Empire. Some embrace freedom, others fight to maintain control." Maya's mind raced with the implications. "We never wanted to destroy the Naxos. We just wanted to stop their conquest. Can we help stabilize the collective, restore its original peaceful purpose?" Dr. Tanaka's neural interface pulsed as she analyzed the genetic data. "The quantum disruption is irreversible, but maybe that's not a bad thing. We could help guide their evolution toward true cooperation rather than forced unity." Maya opened a channel to Earth Command, but before she could speak, the consciousness core pulsed with new energy. The voice of the Axiom grew stronger, joined by others, species that had maintained their identity through centuries of absorption. "We offer an exchange," the voices said in harmony. "You understand quantum mechanics in ways we never could. We understand biological engineering beyond your imagination. Together, we could help both free minds and heal bodies across the galaxy." The tactical display updated, showing more Naxos ships arriving. But these moved with purpose rather than chaos. Their biomechanical systems had stabilized, finding a balance between collective cooperation and individual identity. "Admiral," Araya reported, "these ships are broadcasting on all frequencies. They're asking for asylum. Their crews, they're remembering who they were before the collective consumed them." Maya stood straighter, feeling the weight of the moment. "Send word to Earth Command. The war isn't over, but its nature has changed. We're no longer fighting to defeat an empire. We're fighting to liberate its victims, including the original Naxos themselves." As rescue and recovery ships deployed to assist the refugee vessels, Maya watched the consciousness core pulse with renewed purpose. Humanity had entered this conflict expecting to fight monsters, only to discover that their greatest enemy was also their greatest opportunity for growth. The predators from Earth had evolved past simple victory. They had discovered something far more powerful, the ability to heal rather than destroy, to free rather than conquer. The quantum weapons that had shattered the Naxos collective were being repurposed into tools of liberation, helping trapped consciousness break free from forced unity. Earth's isolation hadn't just made humanity strong. It had made them wise enough to understand that true evolution meant growth in all directions, not just in power. The war against the Naxos was becoming a revolution of consciousness itself, and humanity was leading the way toward a future where diversity and unity could coexist. The Great Hall of the Quantum Concordat hummed with energy as representatives from 100 formerly enslaved species gathered on Earth's neutral ground. The biomechanical architecture of the hall itself represented the new alliance, Naxos living technology guided by human quantum engineering, creating spaces that adapted to the needs of all species while maintaining individual autonomy. Admiral Maya Rodriguez stood at the central podium, her neural interface connecting her to the universal translation field that made this unprecedented gathering possible. Beside her, the crystalline form of the Axiom consciousness core pulsed with the combined wisdom of ages, now freed from the corrupted collective's control. 1 year ago, Maya began, her words rippling through the translation field in 100 different languages. "We fought to defend Earth from what we thought was an unstoppable enemy. Today, we gather not as conquerors and conquered, but as architects of a new future." The assembled delegates represented the full spectrum of galactic life, from silicon-based crystalline beings to energy constructs contained in quantum matrices. Each had been trapped within the Naxos collective, their unique perspectives and innovations forcibly merged into a singular drive for conquest. "The final remnants of the corrupted collective have been located," Maya continued, bringing up a tactical display that showed the last pocket of resistance, a cluster of worlds deep in what was once Naxos space. "But we face a choice that will define our civilization's path forward. Do we destroy them, proving we're no better than they were, or do we show them a better way? Dr. Tanaka stepped forward, her neural interface projecting data streams that illustrated the revolutionary breakthrough they'd achieved. By combining human quantum mechanics with restored axiom biotechnology, we've developed a way to safely separate fused consciousnesses while preserving all memories and experiences. We can free the remaining trapped minds without destroying what the Naxos could have been. The hall erupted in multilingual discussion, countless species debating the implications. Some called for justice through destruction, others for mercy through rehabilitation. The axiom core pulsed with ancient wisdom. We have all evolved in isolation. The axiom voice resonated through the quantum field. Each species developed unique solutions to universal problems. The Naxos collective's mistake was forcing uniformity instead of celebrating diversity. Humanity showed us a different path, strength through understanding, not just adaptation. General Chen, her cybernetic systems now enhanced with restored axiom biotechnology, brought up a new display showing the transformed worlds of the Liberation Zone. Former Naxos ships, their crews freed from collective control, now served as exploration vessels. Biomechanical worlds once used to process conquered species had become healing centers, using quantum-guided evolution to restore damaged ecosystems and minds. The galaxy stands at a crossroads, Maya declared. The old Naxos collective sought to enforce unity through conquest. We propose something unprecedented, the Quantum Concordat. Not an empire, but a federation of free species, each contributing their unique perspectives and technologies while maintaining their independence. The tactical display shifted to show the magnificent combined fleet gathering near the last stronghold of the corrupted collective. Earth's quantum ships flew alongside restored Naxos biological vessels, their technologies working in harmony. Supply ships created by silicon-based engineers used crystalline computers with processing power that dwarfed anything either humans or the Naxos had achieved alone. We are not here to repeat the cycle of conquest. Maya's voice carried the weight of humanity's hard-won wisdom. We're here to break it. The trapped minds in those worlds deserve the same chance at freedom that we helped give the rest of the collective. The liberation operation, when it began, demonstrated everything humanity had learned about combining power with wisdom. Quantum fields didn't destroy the biological ships. They created safe spaces for consciousness to separate and reform. Axiom healing technology, guided by human understanding of quantum mechanics, helped trapped minds remember their original identities. When the last stronghold fell, it wasn't to weapons of war, but to weapons of peace. The corrupted leaders of the old collective, faced with the undeniable success of the Quantum Concordat, surrendered not to superior firepower, but to superior ideas. Maya stood in the Great Hall weeks later, watching representatives from the newly freed worlds take their places in the Concordat. The galaxy was entering an unprecedented age of cooperation and innovation. Human quantum science merged with axiom bioengineering, enhanced by crystalline computing, and 100 other unique technologies. We thought our isolation made us vulnerable, she said to the assembled delegates. Instead, it taught us the most valuable lesson in evolution. True strength comes not from dominating others, but from understanding them. Not from forcing change, but from guiding it wisely. The axiom core pulsed with approval, its light mixing with the quantum fields that connected all members of the Concordat. The age of conquest is over, the ancient voice declared. The age of understanding has begun. As the Great Hall filled with the combined light of 100 species celebrating their shared future, Maya reflected on how far they'd come. Humanity had emerged from isolation not just as warriors, but as teachers and healers. They had faced the galaxy's greatest threat and transformed it into its greatest opportunity. The predators from Earth had evolved into something far more powerful than mere hunters. They had become guides, helping the galaxy remember that true evolution meant growing together, not consuming each other. The dawn of this new era promised not just survival, but transcendence, for all species who chose to understand rather than dominate. The Quantum Concordat stood as living proof that the greatest victory wasn't in defeating an enemy, but in transforming them into allies. Humanity's greatest weapon hadn't been their quantum technology or their tactical brilliance. It had been their ability to imagine and create a better way forward for all species.